Oh my god, the host just triple sat
Did
me.
you see who's food running tonight?
56 was just sitting there making out the entire time I was trying to take
Why do we
the
have
order.
so many servers on the floor? Did you hear about 73?
This is a work of fiction. Any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events, is purely coincidental.
Welcome back to Rolling Silverware. I'm Kat.
I'm Bunny.
And this is our post-shift shit talk.
Post-shift shit talk Mother's Day edition.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of a special recording the day after Mother's Day.
Yeah, and what a day it was.
Yeah, so we worked separate shifts. I worked the day shift, you
Right.
worked the night shift. So
You were pretty close to leaving when I arrived.
yeah, almost instantly, because at one point the server manager came up to me and told me, like, hey, you don't have to break your relief. We're gonna send him home early. You're a mom, go home, be
Right.
with your kid, whatever. So
Oh, how
I was so I was like,
I
all
did
right,
not
cool.
get that
Yeah,
consideration.
Well,
also being a mom.
you were lead server, so
But
it was
still.
a bit different. Well, what did you get anything for Mother's Day? Anyone get you anything?
I mean, my son got me the stuff that they made at school, right? Because
Yeah.
he's in kindergarten, so they
Yeah.
made this cute little coaster of him with like a flower frame around him, and then there was like a card that he colored with, my color hair and his color hair, and it was
So
very cute. And I will keep both of those for forever. I'll never
Yep.
use that as a coaster. It just exists as a picture because I refuse to destroy it. But no, nothing from anybody else. And then like passive comment from Dad because he, in the middle of us talking, all of a sudden was just like, "Oh, it's I should call my dad. It's Father's Day," and I go, "It's Mother's Day." And to which he's like, "Well, I don't have a mom," and it's like, "Yeah, but one's standing right in front of you." So, no, but otherwise, it was just a get ready for work day.
Yeah. I personally, the only gifts I got today were the shirt that you gave me, which weren't technically a Mother's Day
No,
gift.
it wasn't.
You just gave it to me
was
on
just
Mother's
a fun.
Day.
We now have matching shirts gift.
Yeah, the girls will be girls with the beheading on it.
Yeah, the medieval beheading.
I've been
I'm
I've been
obsessed.
seeing it all over my TikTok, and my fingers just itching over that. Add
I
to
bought
cart
them
button.
immediately. The moment I saw them, I went, Kat and I need this.
Yeah.
We need this so badly. And we can coordinate or not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited about the shirt, and then a plastic bowl of poop. So yeah, those are the gifts that I got. Welcome to motherhood. Love that, because obviously, my son's been really sick the last couple of weeks, and the doctor needed a sample. So that's what I got today. I got to spoon shit
Yum.
out of a plastic bowl and put into a stool sample container,
Right.
which is now just in my fridge.
You know where you keep your poop?
If you were wondering how my Mother's Day went,
It's kind of shitty, would you say?
stop it.
So,
Yeah, so, great. But, day started out heading to work. I had the day shift, got there at 11:30,
Right.
and I was in a section that was out on the patio, which I was already kind of iffy about because the weather wasn't great.
Sure.
It was very gloomy, very cold. So I wasn't super excited about the patio section.
right.
And then once the weather cleared up and it got warm, my tables were the only tables directly in the sunlight.
Complete burning sun.
So nobody wanted to sit there.
Of course.
First table that sits down, though, they're pissed. We're like screaming to see a manager. And I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Another server had greeted it for me, and she was like, yeah, they're really mad. She walks up to me and the general manager who were chatting, and she was like, that table's really upset. They want
For
to talk to
being
a manager.
sat there?
Well, apparently the host was like really rude to them. And they were like, oh, do you have another chair that we could use? And the host was just like, yeah, there's one right there, and like walked away.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Well, the hosts we had on today were not the nicest hosts. Like, they very frequently get like complaints about being kind of rude to people.
Okay, but on all days, like I even spoke about this with my dad before I came into work, and it was how terrible today can be. Like Mother's Day across the board is usually a terrible day.
Mm-hmm.
And especially where we work, the type of clientele we get is usually a little bit already bitchy, right?
Yeah.
And then the mothers on their Mother's Day, like it's like, I'm here to pamper you. Like obviously that's my job, but there's a limit to that pampering. And
Yes.
Mother's Day presses that boundary consistently
Yeah.
every single year. So yeah, I'm walking on eggshells walking up to any table today,
Yeah.
let alone
It was rough. They spoke to a manager. They didn't want to sit in my section. Their reservation like asked for a booth,
oh
but
shit.
they weren't sat in a booth because my section didn't have booths at
No, I
all.
was gonna say your
No, I
patio
was
tables.
well, even some of the patio tables have like that half booth, right?
Okay, but when I type in I want to sit at a booth, I'm
I
not
don't mean that.
picturing a half
Patio.
booth, half table on your patio.
No, not at all. So I totally get where they're coming from, but
Sure.
it wasn't even about like where they were sat. It was much more about the fact that the hosts were like super rude to them when they came in, and then they
And
ended
this
up
is like opening. Like, can you guys
at
chill out? Like, you don't even
right,
have a reason to be pissed yet.
right. It's still very slow.
Right?
Like
End of the night,
relax.
you want to throw some shade at people? Like, all right, I get it. You've been here 8 hours, but
No, they've been on for an hour.
if that,
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah, so they end up moving to another table that's outside my section, and I was just like sick. I don't
Great,
know if I
goodbye.
wanted, yeah, I don't know if I wanted to take care of
No.
you today. Like it, wasn't really going to be worth it. But my section, I had 3 2 tops
Right.
and 1 6 top. And the GM looks at me, she goes, "You have back to back to back reservations in your 6 top." And I was like, "Great.
Dope.
When did those start? Because there's not going to be a whole lot of people coming in with just 2 of them on Mother's Day."
And
Like
also, two people too want to sit directly in the sun. Like, we don't even have fucking
umbrellas.
for that
Mhm.
section anymore. I don't know what happened to them. We used to have them.
Apparently they were torn to shreds.
Of course.
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had 5 tables all day. One of my tables, oh, to be fair, a gift that I did get, I had a tables, I walked up to him at the end and was like, "Oh, any DESSERTs I can get for us tonight?" Because they had kids on the table. So
Yeah.
I spelled out the word
Yeah.
dessert. And they were like, "Oh my God, thank you." And I was like, "Yeah, well, mine's 12." Like, I always
Yeah.
try to throw that in, especially on Mother's Day.
Oh,
like, oh, I have a kid too.
so
100%.
many tables today I greeted with, because you can tell, right? And obviously
Mhm.
it's Mother's Day. Not a lot of people go out on Mother's Day who aren't celebrating Mother's Day.
Right.
So pretty much every table that sat down, if there's a woman at the table, I'm like, "Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Mother's Day." And I like look at the woman at the table,
Yep.
And I got so many responses back like, "Oh, and you too if you're a mom." And I'm like, "I am. Yeah, I am."
Yep.
And then they're like, "Oh, you have to work." And it's like, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah.
Cuz you're here.
You
But also I
made
want
the
to work. Like, I
reservation.
absolutely want to work on holidays. It's usually better money. Not always.
Yeah.
Not
So
today.
I had, this one of my 6 tops, very, to be fair, the only 6 top I had all day today, because apparently those back to back to back reservations just didn't fucking happen. I had 1 6 top all day, and they were, oh my God, you're so funny. And I was like, oh, I got one at home. He's 12, so
Yeah.
I get it. He spells now, but when he was younger, I used to get really upset when the waiters and waitresses would say something,
Yeah. Don't ask me about desserts with my child present.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't say that word out loud. Like, I got that,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, well, hopefully you get to celebrate Mother's Day on another day." And I was like, "Well, we kind of celebrated it last night. It was my wedding anniversary yesterday." And so I'm giving the whole, like, please
Sure.
feel sorry for me. Give me so much money, right? Like,
Right.
all that
Thank you
nonsense.
for all of it.
And they're like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. You were great. You were perfect. Everything was so good. Happy Mother's Day to you." And da 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 da. Here's $27 on our $270 bill.
Thank you.
You shouldn't have. Thank you so much. And that was my whole day. My
That
whole
was
day
everything.
was 10 to 15%. I never once hit over 20%. And I had 5 fucking tables today.
Ugh.
5 tables. I was there from 11:30 to 4. So 4.5 hours.
Yeah, you had a
5
table
tables.
an hour.
But the restaurant was busy.
Right.
Everyone was busy.
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I know.
Kitchen was packed. Food needed to be ran constantly. Drinks needed to be ran constantly.
The amount of work I did today for everyone else, because I only had a 4-table section, and multiple times throughout the night I had at least one empty table. Multiple
That's crazy
times
for
throughout the
lead
night.
server.
Because we had bigger parties or this or that or whatever else, and it's just like, also
Yeah.
we had so many people on doubles. Like, we had a bunch
So
of
many,
mids,
yeah.
right? Which I wasn't aware of until I got there. At the end of the night, not to overlap, but
No.
at the end of the night, there was 6 people with double my sales.
That's
If not,
crazy.
2 of them had tripled my sales because they had been there since 11:45. And like, hey, more power to you. Absolutely make that money. Like, I want everyone to crank out. But why?
They never let you work a double.
Why
every
was
time
it
you
not
asked.
me being one of those people? And every single one of those 6 people was complaining after 5 o'clock. after 5, everyone was complaining about like, well, when am I going to get cut? When's this going to happen? And I'm like, you're not getting cut.
Yeah,
You're
it's
not getting
Mother's
cut.
Day.
We
We
have
don't get cut.
we had 370 people set to come into the restaurant after 4 o'clock. You're not getting cut. That's not going to happen. But also, like, I wish I was you. I wish I had been here all day.
Yeah.
I happily would have done it, and they know that. How many times have I said, put me in the longest shift possible?
Yeah, you've asked for doubles multiple times, and
Yeah,
they always tell you,
specifically
no,
on,
we can't do that.
well, and I've asked for them on holidays before, and I've gotten them. But this time it was like, no, you're just the 3 to 9, and that's your whole shift. And it just wasn't. It wasn't a very lucrative day for me, and I was bummed.
Yeah. I spent the first like hour of my shift just mad. Like
Yeah.
literally boiling mad.
Sure.
And
And rightfully so. You've been there long enough. You put in the footwork, you put in the extra hours, you put in the call. Every time they call you and you answer and you work the bar, you work any position that they need you to, and we both bend over backwards for this place consistently.
always.
And
yeah.
so yeah, if that was me and I had walked in at what time did you get there? 11:30?
11:30, yeah.
Yeah, if I had walked in at 11:30 and they're like, you have these 4 tables the fuck out over there.
Yeah,
And
way
I'd
in
be
the
like,
boonies.
great, you swap me with someone else now. Like right now.
I was so upset, and it wasn't even that it was a patio, because I was like, whatever, we have heaters,
Right.
But my section is just outside the heaters, so
Right.
they didn't want to sit there.
Yeah,
when
you
it
don't
was
get
cold,
a heater and you don't get an umbrella.
and you don't get an umbrella to block you from the sun. So when it was cold, nobody wanted to sit there because there was no heaters, and when it warmed up and the sun was out, nobody wanted to sit there because there was no blockage from the sun.
Right.
Like it was an absolute shit section, and the guy that just out of training 2 weeks ago, who just talking to him for 30 seconds, you can tell he has an extensive collection of Magic the Gathering cards and is just a top of the end weirdo.
Yeah.
Like
And he's not holding up very well.
no, but he had four top. He had all 4 top
Right.
sections. Like his whole section was just 4 tops. So he was filled within minutes. The other people
Well, and
next
who
to him,
was looking at that floor plan and thought, hey, new guy and other person who hasn't been here all that long, they'll get these spots. And, Kat, who's been here for consistently long, and throw her over there.
Yeah.
And that's also a section we don't normally even have.
Right. It was an added section because of Mother's Day and how many people we had on. Yeah. That was me. That was me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate that.
So excited. And the server manager ended up pulling me out at one point. She was like, "Hey, come to the back with me." And I was like, "Yeah, fine." Because you could see it on my face. None of my guests noticed, right? The one table that I fucking had the first hour I was there.
None of all of my one tables
none of
noticed.
all of my one table, of a couple of old ladies noticed anything. They were chilling, right? Of course, every time I walked up to a table, smile on my face, I'm holding it together.
Right.
I got it. The minute I walked out of, like, around the corner from that table, my face fell.
Yeah.
I'm fucking pissed. And the server manager pulled me out and she goes, "Let's go out back." So I was like, "Yeah, fine." So we go out back and she's like, "What's up?" And I looked at her and I was like, "Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
My section is fucking garbage. This is bullshit. I've had one table in the hour that I've been here."
Right.
And I'm looking over at somebody that just got out of training 2 weeks ago with a full section, 4 tops.
Yeah.
4 tables. I have nothing but 2 tops. There's not going to be a whole lot of people coming in as 2 tops today.
Yeah, I'm not here for the hourly. I'm here for the tables.
Yeah, I'm not here to make
how
$16.
our job works.
Exactly. I'm not here to make $16 an hour.
Right.
I'm here to make money.
Also, there's only 5 moms that work front of house. There's 5 of us.
And they can't give us the day off.
And you can't possibly give us the day off. And it's like, all right, fine, everybody has to work on the holiday. Then at least make it worth my fucking while.
Right.
If I'm going to be here and I'm going to be put and I'm not even one of those moms like, I don't give a shit about Mother's Day. I don't. Like, I'll work it every single time. I don't even have my son on the weekends.
Right.
Like, he's with his dad on the weekends. So it's just a free day for me. Like, I slept in and I made myself some coffee and then I came to work. Like, it's not a big deal for me. But if it's not going to be worth my while to be there, it's like, how many of us didn't have to be there today?
Right.
Could it have been 5? And also, one of our moms is out of town on a camping trip. So only 4. We could have easily run without us 4 and had, other people fill in those spots.
Yeah, for sure. I was telling the server manager, I was like, I'm here doing nothing. I'm running food. I'm running drinks. I'm filling ice bins in the service station.
Yeah.
I'm doing nothing. I'm not making any money. And it's Mother's Day. I'm a mom and my son's sitting at home by himself right now because my husband had to work today.
Yeah.
So, my kid can stay home by himself for a couple hours during the day.
Sure.
I don't really trust it too much on the nights, but he can stay home by himself during the day. So he was home by himself on Mother's Day while I sat at work
So
and
I could come to work and take care of one whole table for you guys.
and take care of a two-top. Get the fuck. And it wasn't even, it was the whole idea of how much, and I said this too, I was like, how much have I done for this company?
Yeah.
How much have I done for this management team alone?
Yeah, the current team that we have. How
Right.
much do they rely on me
Mhm.
consistently?
Right. I was like, how much have I done for this management team? Like, it's good to know our GM hates me.
Right.
And the server manager was like, well, the GM hates everybody. And I was like, okay, fair
Fair
point.
point.
But this isn't okay. Like,
No.
I'm not okay with this, and I'm not happy. And she was like, yeah, I can tell. And like, everyone else can tell. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if a random guest in the 60s can tell that I'm not happy. Grow the fuck up.
Right.
We're not always going to be happy. But guess who never knew that I wasn't happy?
My guess.
My guest
Yeah.
in on the patio. Any guest that was on the patio never knew that I wasn't happy.
Right.
Everyone inside, I don't give a shit about you. And I'm not walking up to your table. So what do you
Right.
care?
No, if I'm dropping food to your table and I'm in a shit mood, they don't know it when I drop that food.
Right, exactly.
And nobody knows it when I'm picking up extra plates or anything else.
Right.
But like, yeah, if I'm in the back and you think that I look like I have a sour face, it's because I fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
And also, I'm sorry, when I drop the drinks off, at 94, who has a Sazerac, who has this, who has
Yeah.
that, I'm on stage. Even though
Yeah.
it's not my table, I'm still on stage. 5 minutes later, if they see me walking through the door with a sour look on my face, okay.
Yeah, maybe I just have hardcore resting bitch face. Leave me alone.
Right. Like, they're not going to look at me like, oh my God.
She's ruining
random
our whole day.
Right. That one person that's never come up to us or maybe come up to us once to drop off a food, 3 plates
I
of
don't
food.
even know
or
who
a
that
drink.
is, but she's not enjoying herself today.
Right.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be either if you were in my shoes.
I was so mad. I was irately pissed. I was crying. I was so mad.
Right.
Which I hate. I hate that the minute I get mad, I start crying because
Sure.
it just takes away all of the
Yeah,
oomph.
I'm not as serious because
Nope.
now I'm crying and I don't want your pity. I want you to hear my anger. I want
Yeah.
you to be frustrated with me, but I don't want you to be like, oh, she's
Ex-
sad.
Exactly. Like,
No, I'm fucking pissed. These are tears of anger. Pure blood boiling anger streaming down my face.
exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm crying and yelling outside, which, by the way, we weren't even like near the dumpsters. We were
Love that.
outside. So
Oh,
any
okay, like
guests-
parking lot outside.
So, like any guests
So
that were
anybody
walking
coming in is like, oh, fucking shit's going down.
hope
And then
we don't
here
have to
you
sit in our
come.
section.
Here you come. Hi guys, happy Mother's Day.
Just a repeat of
No.
last week, crying in front of my tables, and they're walking up like, "Do we want any more iced tea?" Or
Oh,
no, it was absolutely ridiculous. I hated it. So I was mad, and she was like, "We'll see what we can do about getting you more tables." And I was like, "There's nothing you can do."
yeah, because you've assigned every single table in this restaurant to somebody else.
that's what I said. I was like,
And
"I'm
then
not
it's like-
snaking tables."
That's just it. I don't want to take tables from other people. I just want to be considered for the other tables.
yeah.
Like, why am I not considered? But that was, yeah, there was just so much bitching and like, not that you were bitching and complaining. You have every right. Like, that's a reasonable thing. But throughout
also wasn't bitching and complaining to my
to
lead
other
server.
people.
Yeah,
Right.
I was complaining to my management team.
sure,
who put
where
me in
the
that
complaint
section.
should go, the person who can fix it for you.
Right.
The amount of people tonight, the coworker was wise that was like, "Oh my God, I've been here for forever. Oh my God, this or oh my God, that," or like, "Am I not good enough for this?" And it's just like, guys, I'm here with you. I'm in it, and like, please understand that I feel it. And that's why I just started when people were complaining to me about what's going on in their section and this and that. I just started opening up the tip report to show them where my sales stood. And how I was hanging out like $800 in sales while everyone else was like $1,500, $1,600.
I was gonna say I left today with about $800 in sales. It was really bad. It was
Mine
rough.
ended up being like $1,850 or whatever by the end of it, which is like great because I got the last couple of tables. But I
For a
mean,
lead server, you should have.
but
done
it
more.
also didn't pay out. Like I'm not leaving this holiday being like, oh fuck yeah, bank. When it's like for the people who did work the doubles and who did make a good amount of money, great. Like I'm happy that they got to. But also like there's like I've told you before, there's becoming less and less and less reason to be that lead server who's
Right.
I'm in charge of assigning the side work. I'm in charge of making sure that everything is clean by the end of the night. And if it's not, I get spoken to.
Mhm.
None of the other servers get spoken to. I do. And even more, I got to sign people out. And if they didn't do something and I sign them out, guess who's getting talked to? I am.
Yeah.
So it's like you can trust me to hold this, because it is like a quote unquote like higher position to be the lead. But then at the end of the day, it's a higher position for fucking what? For me
no
to
money,
stay the
yeah.
extra hour to help clean this place, I'll pass.
Yeah.
Put me with the others. I'd rather.
Yeah.
Let me leave an hour early and make more money. That would be so great.
I mean, that was one of the reasons why, like, I didn't want to bartend anymore, was
Right.
the, the super long hours and making half the money as
Sure.
servers. So it was like, why do this? Why, break my back, do all this work, do all the
Oh,
side
same.
work, do everything else,
Yeah.
and, make half the money that I would on the floor. So
Yeah, I'm held to a higher standard, but I'm not reaping any of the benefits of it.
yeah.
It's just to do more work, and it's just to be bitched at more often. And it's like fucking whatever. I don't know. But it's like, okay, so I halfway through my shift, I gave up. I said, okay, none of it matters. Like
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters. None of it means anything. It's fine. It's just another day. And I just treated it like any other Sunday. I was like, fuck it. It's not even a holiday. It's just a Sunday. But then yeah, to end that night and just look at and I try not to compare myself to other people, like as far as tip out or whatever, because I know that I usually rank pretty high.
Yeah.
And I know that, and I know other people probably look at me and they're like, yeah, well, you normally, and it's like, yeah, but that's what I need to support me and my child. Like, that's the money
Yeah.
I need. That's why I work here. And if it's not going to pay out anymore, it's just really frustrating.
Yeah.
And I currently, at this moment in my life, I can't go anywhere else right now. Not right this minute. I can't start somewhere new and be bottom of the rung somewhere else. Not right now. Maybe in a year, but I can't do it right now. So it's like, I don't know. But last night we were fairly busy, right? Or so we thought we were going to be.
Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned on Friday that there was like 700 people reserved. Like there was...
So for all of Saturday we had like 700 covers, right? Which is that's definitely a busy Saturday.
Yeah.
It didn't, I mean, if we were at like 290 by the time, so like a lot of people didn't show for the day, right? Of course. And then we had like 290 or 325 for the night shift last night. And I was like, absolutely, let's do this.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
this is
going
going
to
to
say,
be
it's
good.
a pretty decent night, yeah.
But once again, I'm as the closer, I'm stuck in that 4-table section, and like everybody has 4-table sections, I understand that. But where my section is located, I do not get the opportunity to pick up a 5th table. So if before other night servers come on, they need a 5th table picked up, it goes to the person closest to them.
Yeah, and it's never you.
And it's never me, because I'm locked in the center of this section, and there's somebody like taking 2 of the tables out of my, row.
Yep.
And it goes to somebody else. And so literally our GM had, because I told her, I was like, I'm bored. Like, I'm bored. I have nothing going on. And I have 1 open table. So I have 3 tables. I have 1 open table, and any other additional table to be had is assigned. I was like, I just feel like we have too many people on. And she's like, nope, every table's assigned and it's perfectly fair. I'm like, well, it's not fair though. It's not fair.
It's not fair because seniority exists for a reason.
Right.
Like,
I've been here longer. And also, I'm sorry to some of the people we work with. I work fucking harder than you.
Yeah.
I work harder and I put in the effort, and I don't half-ass my side work every goddamn night. And I don't,
you don't half-ass your tables. You don't half-ass
and I don't
anything.
I don't half-ass anything I do from the moment I walk in that building.
You have your menu knowledge always down. You're always
I know everything
on top
there
of
is
shit.
to know, and it's like, I'm not trying to sound better than anybody else, but at the same time, at this current location, there are people I'm fucking better than.
Yeah, you're a lead server. That's why you're a lead server.
You've given me this title of lead server, and you put me in this position of responsibility and everything, but I reap none of the benefits of it. It's just, hey, here's more work for you at the very end. So anyways, we get towards the end of the night, and I'm like, listen, I have plans after work. And my plan is I'm going to bounce out hopefully around like 10:15, right? And I'm very much prepped to do that. Like, we close at 10. I am so prepped to leave at 10:15. And I get a table, a 2-top, at like, I don't know, 9:36.
Oof.
So it's close to closing, and I'm like, that's all right. I'll just let them know how much time they have.
Yeah.
And like, hey guys, how's it going? And it's just one guy sitting there, and he's like, I want soup. I was like, dope, let me get that soup in for you. Can I get you something to drink? He's like, yeah, water. I was like, all right, great. He's got a woman with him, but she's not at the table right now. I don't know where she is. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get that working. I was like, we got like 20 minutes before the kitchen starts closing down. And he goes, yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, awesome, great. Thank you so much.
Please don't talk to me like that. The fuck?
Right. So I get waters and bread. I set it down, and he goes, and my soup. And I go, yeah, I got it in. It's coming. So I deliver the soups, and I go to handle my other tables that I'm closing out, right?
Right.
Another server walks by, and he is freaking out. And so he tells her, I need a manager. I need to speak to a manager right now.
Stop it.
All I have done is drop 2 bowls of clam chowder to your table. Like, I cannot fathom what you're so upset about. He is irate. So we get the manager, our server manager. She goes over. I haven't even seen the guy again since. She goes over and she spends probably 15 minutes talking to this table. He is so upset that the bowl of soup is not filled all the way.
Ooh.
Okay, fair.
It's
But
like an 18-ounce bowl and you're paying for 12 ounces.
You're paying
of
for
soup.
12 ounces,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, but those were more than what I normally see full. So when I brought them out, because there's times where you look at it and
You're like,
no,
come on, yeah.
give me another half a ladle in this, you know? I didn't feel that way. I was just like, nope, here's your 2 soups, got it, set it down, and I walked away. So she's with him for like 15 minutes.
Oh,
she gets him a cup of soup for free. Don't worry about it. So here's a cup. So now there's 2 bowls and a cup down, and the woman is sitting there and she's eating and she's like, this is the best clam chowder. This is so good. And he's rave reviews to the manager. Oh my God, thank you so much. This is so great. Everything's so awesome. So then I come over and I take their order, and he's deciding on a salad. He's not sure. Okay, but your wife's ready to order. I was like, do you want me to get that working now? And he goes, yeah, she's hungry.
Okay.
Okay, fucking dope. It is now.
Also, we have like 4 salads.
Yeah,
like,
but also
relax.
now it is like 9:48.
Yeah.
So you're deciding on a salad? Are you going to order one? And so then I put in her food, and then the next thing I know, the manager's at the table again. And he's like, well, I don't know. What kind of salad would be good with ranch? I want ranch, and I just don't know. Like, none of these salads come with ranch. We're like, then just...
The chicken salad does come with ranch, though. I mean, it's like
it's a Chipotle ranch.
Yeah, but
But
it
not
still
only
comes with
that,
ranch.
he's looking at just like the small salads. And so he's like, well, how's your wedge? What do you think about the wedge? So she goes out of her way. She makes him a wedge with extra bacon, extra blue cheese crumbles, brings him 2 sides of ranch on the side, extra tomato. She makes it herself because all of the kitchen's on break at this point.
Why?
So she makes it herself, and then she brings it out to the table, and I bring it in, right? And I'm like, hey, I'll charge for it. And then I walk by, and he's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, can I get some Thousand Island or something? Like, this just isn't it. What? And I'm like, yeah, like, okay, you really need it. And we have good ranch. Like, we have a solid ranch. I love our ranch. Anyways, to say that this was a problem table is like an understatement. And then also, by the time I have gone back to the table, the waters are now gone from the table, and they've been replaced with lemonades. So I don't know where the waters went. I don't know why they refused the waters. But now there's 2 lemonades at the table. So I'm like, okay, well, let me tack those on. Because nobody told me.
Right.
That now they have. So then I tack those on. So I'm trying to get started cleaning. But this man is flagging me down like every 5 fucking minutes.
To say something's wrong.
To have a problem with something.
Out of your control.
And it's like, dude, you showed up with less than 20 minutes till we closed. And they stayed. Until 10:40.
Stop it.
They were in that building until 10:40. I dropped check. Oh, and then it was, oh my God, hold on. I walk up with check in hand, right? Because she's done. I got her a little box for her extra little side that she got. He ate fuck all of his salad. Like, he doesn't even care. And so I'm like, oh, can I take this? Are you done with it? And he's like, not even speaking to me. He's just speaking to her. And I'm like, I love this so much. And then as I'm picking up the plates, I'm like, oh, is there anything else I can get for you guys tonight? And he goes, well, your manager said that we would get a dessert for her birthday. And I was like, oh, did she? Okay, great. And he goes, she didn't tell you?
Sir?
No, she didn't. But also, that's just standard for a birthday, bro. Like,
yeah.
Every person that walks in this building and lies their ass off about their birthday gets a fucking birthday dessert.
I was going to say, did you tell me about her birthday?
Yeah.
It's
not written on my check. I checked it. Or on my little table,
Yeah, the little table flyers things that we get, yeah.
Yeah, so, no. And so I was just like, oh, no worries. Let me get you a menu. You pick whatever you want. Like, at this point, I don't
care.
I want you so far fucking gone.
Yeah.
So I dropped the dessert menu. I walk away for, I don't know, 7 minutes. Like, it was a while. I was cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come back, and the dessert menu is now closed in front of him. I gave it to her because it's her birthday.
It's her birthday, yeah.
So it's closed in front of him, and I go, did we decide on a birthday dessert tonight? Like, as friendly as I possibly can muster at this point.
Of course.
And it's pushing 10:30 at night. No, it's 10:15. It's 10:15 at this point. And he raises, like, because he's looking at his phone, and he looks up at me, and he goes, I don't know, I haven't even looked yet.
Sir.
fucking dope. Dope, bro. Thank you. Sure. And I said, okay, no worries. You take your time. I'll be right back. So I fuck off. I'm just back to cleaning.
I'm gone for half an hour at that point.
I am so, but I also want them gone. I want them gone. I want them so far gone. So she gets the butter cake. He doesn't want a dessert. Of course you fucking don't. Of course you don't want a dessert after you fucking make me wait for you to look at the menu. Fine. Also, you're only getting one free birthday dessert. So
you're not getting two.
I hope you enjoy what she's getting and you're paying for yours.
Right.
So anyways, they get the butter cake. Excellent. Love it. I put it in. I drop it to the table. I walk away. I have one other table that I need to clean, and then I've got to go and finish. I have so much side work to do. Like it was a busy Saturday night, Mother's Day weekend and all. And so there was a lot of cleaning to be done. And there's still a lot of people there with me cleaning. And one of the servers walks in and she's like, yeah, they're complaining about that. And I go, of course! Of course! Of course you're complaining about your free birthday dessert. Keep in mind, this is our number one top selling dessert.
It's the best dessert we have.
You got the best dessert we have and you have a fucking problem with it? Oh my God. I gave up. I literally just gave up and I went and I got the manager and I went, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know what the problem with the dessert was?
Was it too hot in the middle?
The ice cream was too icy.
Stop it.
Like it had like freezer burn or whatever. Like it was icy ice cream.
Yeah, because it's 10:30 at night and
it was the last scoop out of the ice cream bucket that we had been using all night, I guess.
All day, yeah.
So then I have to ask the kitchen supervisor, hey, can you get me a scoop out of a new bucket? Like, can you do that? And he's like, are you joking? And I wish I was.
I wish.
I really fucking wish I was. It is now 10:25 at night. We closed at 10 o'clock. And this table isn't happy with their free fucking dessert. So we get them a new scoop. Somebody else takes it out because I'm just like, my hands are up. I'm just like, please.
I would not go back to that table.
So
I would have
then
just told the manager, you take it.
I dropped the check. This woman, who has been very sweet the whole time, like no shade on her, but her husband, boyfriend, whoever the fuck this man is, can just never come back. Please, sir, if you're listening and you catch this, don't do this shit to people because you ruined my whole fucking night. Now, I know that as the closer, I might not get out of there till 10:30, right? But 10:45 is usually the latest that I'm leaving on a Saturday night. Like, we're lucky. We close at 10, and I do a pretty good job of getting that place. Like, I have my side work down. I know how long it takes me.
Yeah.
But I have not been able to do half of what I'm supposed to do because of this table. Because of the constant need for different things and whatever. This woman takes, and I wish I was kidding, 18 minutes to count out the money that she needs to give me to leave at the table.
Why?
18 minutes. And I kept looking. So there's a server polishing wine glasses. Yeah. And I'm standing by the terminal. They're at 76. Mm-hmm. And so I keep looking at her and I'm like, is it down? Is it down? Is the cash down? Because I saw her with cash in hand. So I knew they were leaving cash.
Right.
And she goes, no. And then 5 minutes later. And I'm like, is it down? She goes, no. So then I walk by, right? And she's still fucking fanning it out. I'm like, do you need help?
Is she paying ones? What the fuck?
Like, are you confused by simple addition because there's calculator on your phone, or even better yet, just throw money down and leave. At this point, I don't even care if you're off by $7. I'll cover it. I don't even
out of my
fucking
own
care.
pocket.
So their bill at the end of everything was $65. And so finally, after almost 20 minutes of her counting bills, I walk over and she goes, this is all set for you. And I go, thank you so much. And I pick it up and there's like money clipped into it. And then there's money clipped on the back. Because I pick it up and I go, I'll be right back with some change. That's what you say to every table, right?
Yeah,
I'll be right back with your change.
Yeah. I got yelled at once.
Right. You gotta be very clear. I'll be right back with your change.
Yeah.
But when I say it, I'm very much meaning like, do you need change? Like I'm not saying those words. I'm saying, I'll be right back with some change. Right?
Exactly.
Or not, or I'll leave. Like, or this is all mine.
With direct eye contact, like I'll be right back with your change.
100%.
Yeah.
So I did that, and she goes, no, it's all there. That's exact money. and then your tip is clipped to the back. And I went, thank you so much.
That's
I
weird.
appreciate it. Sure, whatever. And so I was like, thank you so much. Fucking bye. Goodbye.
And leave.
So I just put it in my pocket, and then they fuck off. Finally, they fucking leave. And so I go over and I clean the table, and then I come back around, and I have so much stuff to do, and it's like pushing 11 o'clock at night, and I'm just like, great. Like I said, I had plans, and now it's getting like I ended up not leaving until 11:45 at night.
That's crazy.
Which is fairly late for our location for a closer when you only had one table after 9:30. Like there was only one table in the whole fucking restaurant after 9:30, and it was this couple. So their bill was what, $65 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They left me $6
Stop it.
after all of that.
It took her that long to count at $71?
Yeah. I don't know if she had to count it like if she's OCD and had to count it like 7 times. Like, all right, fine, I guess. Like, I'm not making fun of anybody that has to do that. It's just, what? It's like, what?
Yeah.
Please?
Rough.
And also, sir, for having so many issues, you didn't even fucking pay?
Yeah, I was going to say, how much of that check was comped? So much of it, I'm assuming.
Multiple items. And also the free dessert with the icy ice cream.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go into a restaurant after, like, as it's closing. You're not going to get the best food.
And my service was impeccable. I will tell you.
It always is.
I know, but I mean, like, there was not even an ounce of, like, oh, I wish they weren't here. I was just like, oh, yeah, I got the last table. No big deal. I got you guys. You know, and he seemed so chill when he sat down. And then with our server manager, he was, like, chatting her up. He was, like, so friendly to her. And then every time I went by after that, it was like I was fucking bothering him. And I'm like, I'm so sorry that I'm trying to do my job, which includes getting you to leave.
Right.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, that's why going in today, I was just like, whatever. Like, it won't be that, right? It won't be that.
Hopefully.
And it wasn't. I did get the last table tonight, even though I joked around with the host and I said, I'll pay you not to give me that last reservation. And so he moved it to someone else's section, which, like, there were so many of us on at the end anyways.
Yeah.
But then we got a walk-in party of 4. And the minute they sat down at 8, like 8:22, they sat down. So not too bad. We still have plenty of time. We closed at 9 o'clock. The minute they sat down, they're like, we're just going to take 2 minutes to look over the menu and then we'll be ready. And I'm like, okay, don't worry about it, guys. Like, we have 40 minutes, you know? Like, you're good. What can I get you started with? We'll take a bottle of wine. And I'm like, oh, fuck, a whole bottle. Like, a whole, between 4 people, that's not that bad. But also, like, a whole bottle of wine means you're just going to, like, sit and hang out.
Yes,
but, okay, fine.
Also, you know, bottles of wine we don't tip out on. So
that's fair. And they were a perfect table. They ordered the minute I got back with that wine. They were so thankful for me. They repeatedly told me, thank you so much for working on Mother's Day. Are you a mom? You know, all of this. They were very sweet.
Yeah.
Like, complete night and day from this other table last night.
Yeah, I had, you know, relatively cool tables. One table definitely felt like they hated me from the minute I walked up to them. They were like 2 Russian ladies, and they were just upset at my existence the whole time I was there.
They're just upset at the world.
They kind of were. I mean, I sat down and she was like, yeah, water with lemon and bread and butter. And I was just like, cool. Hi, my name is Kat. I'll be your server today. Like, it was, yeah, she hated me. But I mean, they, you know, left me, it was like 18% or something like that. It was like one of my highest tips of the night. Was those 2 ladies.
You're like, oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, like, my tables were really nice, and they were, you know, genuinely just like happy to be there and, you know, celebrating and this and that and doing all that. It was just, I didn't have the shift that I wanted to have for Mother's Day, because I was definitely banking on making good money today.
Yeah, I want to come in, I want to make that money, I want to leave. I mean, we all do, right?
Right.
And I definitely tonight did not have a turn and burn station by any means. Like, and normally people have like other things to do, you know? It's like, hey, we came to celebrate Mom, and then we have a movie to catch, or we're going to have dessert at home, or this or that. I had so many tables today that just were lingering around after checks signed.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I was that person today where it was like, table's clear. Like, you have water in front of you that's running out. Are you leaving?
Yeah.
Like, also, we have so many reservations that I'm just getting skipped in rotation over and over and over again because of my 4-table section. I don't have anything available.
Yeah. I didn't turn and burn today. No. And that's the thing is, like, even when you make, you know, 10%, 15%, when you're turning and burning,
Doesn't matter.
yeah, if you
that's all gonna rack up. That's great.
exactly, you have a ton of reservations, it's all racking up. You're like, great,
I
fine,
didn't
whatever.
I didn't see much of the ton of reservations for sure.
If I was inside on any of those stations
Right.
today, because this morning was fairly busy.
Right.
If I was in any station inside, I would have been turning and burning. I'd have, even if
Right.
it was nothing but 10%, I would have walked with probably twice what I did.
Right.
And I just really was banking on having that today.
Some
and then,
of that.
Yeah. And then to not have any of that it was really frustrating. And I didn't like it. And I cried outside.
I'm so sorry.
It wasn't a great day, but it was nice that at the 4 o'clock when the changes started happening, typically, we talked about this a little bit before, typically your relief comes on, you go on break.
Right.
And then they take care of your tables as you're on break. And then the minute you get back, they go on break.
Right.
And then once they get back, you're free to leave, right? You can have
you're set to go.
Yeah, you can kind of like finish out your tables or whatever, but you're set to go. But my server manager was like, "No, you're a mom, so go be with your kid.
Yeah.
Have a good day. You don't need to take a break today." I was like, "Fantastic."
Perfect.
And by the time my relief had come on, there was 3 people doing B, the side work.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like I wandered around and I, emptied out trash cans, no crab legs, and didn't find any of those in the trash cans. But, I emptied out the little trash things that we have on the terminals, wiped things down, refilled lobster bibs.
Yeah, it ended up being a very simple side work.
And paper napkins
Right.
and stuff. But I didn't have to do any of the side work, any of the silverware.
Yeah.
Because I asked the lead server of the day, and I was like, there's 2 other people that still haven't been cut and haven't even started on the silverware 4B. Do you want me to bother with that, or do you just want to leave that up to them? And she was like, yeah, just leave it up to them.
Yeah, if you've done all of the paper products, then
yeah, I did.
That's a third of that side work anyways.
Yeah,
so
I did all the paper products. I was also like one of the only people that saw her refilling sauces in the middle of the day, because we had run out of like ketchup and remoulade and stuff. So I saw her on the line like trying to refill things in the middle of the day, and I was like, oh, let me help you. And so I started helping her do that, and I was helping fold the paper for the fry cups, and I you know what I mean. So I was like, because I wasn't doing anything,
you had nothing else to do.
There was nothing else for me to fucking do, so I'm just helping the lead server maintain the restaurant throughout the day.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, when it came to side work, she was like, no, you did enough today, go for it, you don't have to do any of the silverware. So I was like, fantastic, perfect. So yeah, the minute my relief came on, I was like, hey, you don't have anything in your station, but have a great night. That was nice. I was home by like 4:30.
Sure.
It was just a shit day. It was a shit day. And I don't know. And it's frustrating to watch other people make money around you, knowing that either one, you're a stronger server than them, a better server than them, or even just have seniority in the restaurant over them. And they're making tons of money. Their sales are twice yours, and you're just sitting around running other people's food and not getting paid for it, running other people's drinks, or doing like random side work things, just trying to like look busy when you don't have anything going on in your section because you're not being sat, or you're in a section
your
that people
section's
won't
not
sit.
desirable.
Yeah. But even as like a lead server, you should have had people, you know what I mean? Like,
no, and like I said,
I
had a lot of people just like hanging back, and then towards the end of the night, I was getting a bunch of 2-top tables, which is like, okay, fine, I'll take. Like, I don't care.
You got all
usually.
my 2-tops.
Yeah, I got all your 2-tops that didn't come during the day.
Thanks.
So I got like 3 2-tops in a row, and then I hear from another server. She's like, she's done. She's been there all day. Like, she's so ready to go. It's 8 o'clock. Like, she wants to be completely gone. There's no reason that she wasn't. And I guess the host had told her, hey, we do have to double seat you in a moment. Keep in mind, my section's now full of a camping table and 3 2-tops. And then she was told, yeah, it's a 5 and a 6.
Absolutely not.
So she gets 11 people all at once, and I get 6 over the course of an hour? Like, what? We're not, like I said, this is the only place that doesn't keep track of like head count or anything else.
Yeah, it never does.
And I'm just like, okay, great. That's great. Like, awesome. I love it. I love it. It was just, I don't know. It's like I said, after a certain point tonight, I just gave up. I was like, I can't let this bother me today. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Otherwise, everything went smoothly. Like, I feel like the kitchen ran really smoothly today. There wasn't a bunch of backup. Yesterday, however, we got fairly backed up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard the kitchen backed up real
Yeah,
bad
which felt
yesterday.
like a bad omen leading into today.
It always, yeah, day before a
Yeah,
holiday,
if
freaking
you
out.
can't hang the day before, and then what are we gonna do tomorrow? You
Yeah.
know. So at one point, I have a table that's waiting on an appetizer, and maybe 7 to 10 minute appetizer, and it hits 28 minutes. I also have all of the rest of their food waiting on this appetizer because I
Yeah.
coursed it out. So, and at no point during the rest of the night last night were we backed up. So when it comes to coursing things out, I'm like, yeah, we have time. Like, go ahead, let's make this 7 minute appetizer. And so I see it at the screen at 22 minutes. And I'm like, wow, that's a long time. But there's a lot of other 22-minute tickets. So I'm like, okay, it's whatever. It hits 28 minutes, and I go to our server manager.
Mm.
And I'm sorry, but I say, hey, I just want to let you know that the appetizer for this table is now at 29 minutes. She laughs and says, yeah, they're getting slammed.
No, that's
And
not
then she
funny.
walks away.
No.
And I'm like, excuse me? Now, granted, yeah, the kitchen is getting slammed, and they're doing the best they can. Like, we have a solid kitchen staff here. Like, and
For
they
the
are
most part,
working,
yeah.
they are busting their ass day in and day out. Like, I can't do their job, and I know that. But also, like, who do I inform then that this appetizer, not a full, 5 entrees, is taking 28 minutes? That's reasonable. But this appetizer, meaning they have gotten nothing but their drinks and bread for half an hour.
Yeah.
This is now concerning.
Yeah, usually when you go up to a front of house manager to say, hey, the kitchen is taking a very long time for this, you're asking them to go back to the kitchen, get a time,
Yeah,
right?
check
Like,
on it. Let me know when it's going to be out. And also, I need you to
can we
touch that
prioritize
table.
and touch the table? I need you to talk to the table because at any point in time, if a manager walks up to a table, they feel like they're being taken care of.
Right.
They feel
And
like
they feel
somebody is
heard and
noticing.
understood. Even though
Yes.
they didn't say, the table said nothing to me, and I said nothing to the table. But it was like,
But even if you did, as a server, if you were like, hey, I know this is taking a while, I'm really
they're like,
sorry.
yeah, why is that?
Yeah, they're not going to take it nearly as seriously as if a manager comes up to the table and
Right.
says, hey, I heard you guys,
Right.
your food's taking a
So
while. We're
sorry
so
about
sorry about
that.
that. People feel heard. You don't even have to comp anything.
No.
Literally just talk to them.
So yeah, it was just a, haha, yeah, they're slammed. And then she turns
No.
on her heel and walks away. And I'm like, so fuck me, I guess.
Right.
Like, all right, great. I'm so glad that I took the time to bring this up to you, because it means that nothing's gonna come of it. Awesome, dope, love that, sweet. And we had regional in yesterday.
Yeah, he was here today too.
Well, we had front of house regional in
Oh, no
yesterday,
way. Okay.
and she wasn't anywhere that I could find at that moment. But I'm just like, and like I said, all of the tickets were behind. But as far as I could tell, they weren't even working on that appetizer. So this appetizer, like I said, I think they got it at like 34 minutes. They finally got their appetizer.
That's crazy.
And now the food's working.
Right. The
Luckily-
5 entrees.
Luckily, the kitchen literally cleared, like the tickets cleared right after they got their appetizer. So their food came out like as soon as they finished eating that appetizer. So
Okay.
it probably to the table felt like, oh wow, things are a little, hectic. And then, oh, look at our perfectly timed food from our appetizer.
No,
it was perfectly timed from the time the appetizer touched the table, but not like
It looked like
rang
you
that. It
forgot
looked like
to
I
ring in the-
forgot to ring in the appetizer.
That's exactly what it looked. It looked
No.
like you forgot to ring in their food, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Hey, I know it's taking a while. Sorry."
And then nobody went to speak, and I was just like, great. That's so great. I love that. So yeah, that was just
anytime a server says something is happening with a table. I don't care if a server walks up to you and it's just like, "Hey, this table seems kind of mad."
Yeah.
You better touch the table.
well, and it's standard for our company specifically. Like
it's standard for every company.
Well, and I mean, I've worked for other places where, like, if I told a manager, like, hey, I feel like this table's like a little irritated, they go, okay, great, But, like, they didn't care as much as this place specifically is supposed to.
Yeah.
I don't want to say they do care, because half the time they don't.
Right.
But it's like it's in their training as managers
Mm-hmm.
and ours as servers that, like, if you have to say I'm sorry at all, you get a manager involved.
Yeah.
So having that long of a ticket time for an appetizer is a sorry moment. And I'm trying to get a manager involved, and I'm basically I just got shunned. And I'm just like, sweet, this is so much fun. I didn't even know what to do, so I just moved on. And like I said, the table
What,
seemed
yeah, what
fine.
else can you do?
The table seemed fine, and they were chill, and it didn't seem like there was any issues whatsoever. But I mean, they knew how long it took. Like, it was felt for sure.
I stopped saying sorry altogether. I don't say sorry to my tables for anything.
I usually don't. I'll phrase it other ways.
Yeah, I always say thank you for your patience.
Yeah.
Thank you for this. Thank you for that. I always like bring it back to them like, "Oh my God, thank you so much for being so understanding."
Yeah.
Because then they're like, "Oh, I am understanding."
Right.
Like the verbiage and the terminology that
Yeah.
like
Or
we
I'll just
use
agree.
as
I
servers is
just
crazy.
agree so heavily with whatever the table's saying. So it's like if they tell me like, "Hey, it's been a long time," I'm like, "Yeah, it has been a really long time. Let me go check on that for you." Not, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Let me go check on that for you." It's like, "You're right," you know, and it's
Just
or like
shocked and appalled, like, "Oh my
yeah,
God."
and I'm like, or I'll come back up to the table and be like, "This shouldn't happen. This
Yeah.
really shouldn't. Like, I want to make this better for you because what you said is correct, you know." And it's just like I'll go so hard into like how correct they are without saying like I'm sorry that, you know, that you're correct. Like, but no, it's just it was yeah, I don't know. It was a hell of a fucking weekend for me. So happy that it's over.
Yeah, I'm just nervous about the next week because it's always like the week after holiday is always like really iffy because maybe people are gonna come in to try and celebrate that
Right.
holiday a little bit later, or a little
Right.
bit earlier, or whatever. Like you always have those like stragglers that like, oh, we want to beat the rush, so we're gonna go at a different time, but that doesn't always happen, and it's especially like a holiday like Mother's Day, you get most people they're coming in on Mother's Day or the day
Yeah.
before Mother's
I
Day.
mean, we could be dead next week. We could be absolutely popping, but at
I
least
just, yeah.
one of those days doesn't matter because we're not going to be there. Okay.
You ready to check out?
I am.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Seriously. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Bye.
Bye.